Content. Sunlen Miller, our ABC News colleague, is on the floor. And Sunlen, you spent the day talking to some folks who were pretty disappointed, actually, because they're not inside where they thought they'd be tonight.
Rick, you can call these people the DDs of this convention. They're disinvited and they're really disappointed. I spoke to a lot of them today. These are, of course, the people that once had tickets to tonight's address, but they lost them because the Obama campaign, of course, had to move the speech inside to an inside venue, which is much smaller. About 50,000 people could not attend tonight's speech because of that. Here's a little bit of what we found out when we talked to him today in Charlotte.
So I just feeling really let down and just like bummed. It's kind of my dream to see him speak, so definitely really sad.
I'm sure all are disappointed because you come here charged up to see the president. Yeah, maybe if he had spoke first, it'd been a different story.
Disappointed. My son said he saw it on Twitter and sent the news over right away, and so everyone's disappointed. It's too bad.
And a lot of the people we spoke to, they had a good suggestion that they want the White House to hear. They said, we'd love to have an invitation to Obama's Oval Office when he gets back, but they're not holding their breath.
65,000
Yeah, you can fit them in, right?
Oh, exactly. No problem at the White House.
Sunlen, what did they do for some of these people? What are they trying to do for some of the people, 65,000 strong, who thought they were going to get in to see history and are instead out in what's actually a decent Charlotte evening, not raining?
This is a huge moment for the Obama campaign and a huge moment for President Obama himself. This is a culmination of an important week, so the campaign doesn't want anything to really cast that shadow over that, so they went to full damage mode right away. They did three things, really. One, the president hopped on a conference call with all those 50,000 people that lost their tickets, and he apologized personally to them. Secondly, the campaign promises that those tickets will be honored at another event, sometimes between now and Election Day in Charlotte. We don't know what kind of event that will be, but these people will actually get to see the president then. And of course, then they set up these watch parties all over Charlotte and all over the country. If you had to come and then you lost your ticket, then you'd be able to watch with everyone else, kind of commiserate anyways together. But really the message was that we want your enthusiasm, we still want your vote, we want you to be fired up, but we just don't want you at our big party tonight because there's not enough space.
That's right. That was a live picture that we just saw of one of the watch parties that they've set up around town. ABC Sunlen Miller, thanks for being here and coining a term, the DDs, the disappointed and the disinvited. I love it. Thank you, Sunlen. Now by Sunlen Miller, ABC's own, of course, covered the 2008 Obama campaign and is busy around town today. Sunlen, what have you been finding out? You've been talking to a lot of folks.
We've been talking to a lot of folks around Charlotte, and I have a lot of facts for you guys that you never thought you would want, but I'm going to share them with you.
No.
We love it. Here's the first fun fact. In Charlotte, scenes from the movie The Hunger Games were filmed here. The place where delegates and media worked all week at the Charlotte Convention Center. That was where the pivotal scene in The Hunger Games, not sure if you've seen it, Haven't seen it yet.
It's a pivotal scene where all the tributes ride in on their chariots. Katniss is flaming with fire behind her. This is where the media worked all week. It looks a lot different here in the pictures that you're seeing.
It does not look very scary there.
It's definitely not Hunger Games. Draw your own comparison. But the second thing I want to tell you about is the number 60. Now, you would think this is polling or approval rating, but the White House is listening very closely to the number 60 and everything about it because that's the weather forecast, the percentage of rain on Thursday night. Now, we all know that Barack Obama is going to deliver his speech on Thursday night in an open-air arena. So obviously, they're watching the weather reports very closely. As of now, they have not announced a contingency plan if it does rain. There's over 73,000 people potentially coming out to listen to that address. So we'll see what happens if it does rain.
Those are all good. Now, we also understand you found some other fun facts about Charlotte, things that we didn't know about Charlotte.
Well, one thing that we didn't know about Charlotte is on the streets here, everyone is buzzing about a potential mystery guest that might show up here. People are buzzing about Betty White. Now, of course, we all know from the Republicans convention that famous mystery guest was Clint Eastwood. He got a lot more attention for his empty chair on the stage. But we hit the streets of Charlotte today. We talked to a few delegates out there. We asked them if Betty White would be a good person to come and make an appearance at the convention. We have a little bit of sound from people on the streets.
I've heard a rumor, and I'd love to see Betty White. I think she'd be very funny, sort of a nice contrast with Clint Eastwood. a little more practiced at comedy.
Betty is the ultimate young older person. Okay, I give her credit for that all the way. But then you have a large group of people. I don't know how surprising she would be to, say, my younger children.
Betty White's fine. She'll be a hell of a lot better than Clint Eastwood.
And that's a lot of what we heard from people on the streets. They said anyone but Clint Eastwood, just anyone but him.
Literally the word on the street. Sunlen Miller, our ABC correspondent, our ABC colleague and friend. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 11 on your side.
A sad story coming out of the Alexandria area of Fairfax County today. 6 live cats have been pulled from a townhome, and the owners have been charged with animal cruelty. Sunlen Miller has more on this case of alleged animal hoarding.
Around the neighborhood, neighbors say it was known as the house that smelled.
They just kind of collect a lot of things, and then the house stinks. It smelled like pneumonia and cat urine.
In reality, police say it is the house that hoards. The homeowners, 68-year-old John Bedwell and 70-year-old Madeline Bedwell, have been charged with the civil misdemeanor of being unfit owners. Mr. Bedwell has also been slapped with 5 counts of cruelty to animals. Hazmat teams were called because of the high level of air toxicity inside, and yesterday 6 live cats were pulled from the home. Police say, and we saw today, they still expect to find significantly more animals, possibly as many as 20 cats, either dead or alive inside.
We knew there were hoarders, but we didn't know how bad it was.
Police can't get back inside yet. The house has been boarded up and declared unsafe to enter.
Neighbors here said they always sensed that something was wrong on the inside because of what they observed on the outside. Check this out. This is their car here. As you can see, there's trash bags and old shopping bags and light bulbs and just general trash that fills up the whole back seat of their car.
We kind of knew what was going on, but I don't think we knew about that side of it, which makes it even more sad.
It destroyed the neighborhood. When you see somebody like that, they should have got help, or somebody should have helped them a long time ago until they got to this extreme.
Once the home is made safe, police will be able to re-enter to determine just how extreme this case of hoarding really is. In Alexandria, Virginia, Sunlen Miller, ABC 7 News.
ABC 7 News at 11 on your side.
And we will rejoin NASCAR later, but we want to get to all of the wild weather that we've experienced today. A wild day outside after a powerful storm ripped through our area. Pounding rain and strong winds caused damage that sent people to the hospital and knocked out power to roughly 200,000 homes. Our Storm Watch team has been on the ground since the storm kicked up this afternoon. Sunlen Miller is following all the power outages, and many people are without power around our area at this hour. ABC 7's Sunlen Miller continues our Storm Watch team coverage with that part of the story. In Sunlen, we are talking about thousands of people still in the dark tonight.
Atria power crews are out in full force this evening trying to restore power to all these areas. Let's take a look at the numbers first. And I should note that these numbers have dropped even in the last hour. Pepco is reporting 41,000 outages. Dominion Power has just over 42,000 outages, and BG&E is reporting about 9,000 outages. Now we're here in Falls Church, Virginia, where you can see behind me this neighborhood has absolutely no power. They lost power around 4 o'clock today, and they said they don't expect to get it back anytime soon.
There was a collective not again when power went out today in this Falls Church neighborhood.
Once again, no power in the suburbs.
Downed tree limbs have pulled down power lines and damaged transformer equipment.
It happened right as soon as the winds came, and as soon as it came up, then the light went out and the TV went off, and so we've been waiting ever since for it to come back on.
Near 7 Corners in Virginia, temporary stop signs replaced traffic lights that went dark. In Northwest D.C., down power lines everywhere. Veterans of the multi-day outage during June's derecho storm say this time they know how to handle it.
We'll have to get some board games out, get the candles going and the lantern, and hopefully we won't have to do it for too long.
We have a lot of flashlights and a couple of handheld lanterns, and we had to eat up our ice cream this evening.
Now, both Dominion Power and Pepco tells they have extra crews out on the street tonight, and they expect to work throughout the night trying to restore power. They also ask that you call in with any updates in your area. Now, their best estimate or their best hope is that they have 90% of the outages restored by Monday morning. Live in Falls Church, Virginia, Sunlen Miller, ABC 7 News.
All right. Well